Hello everyone, myself Falguni. Welcome to our channel. Here is the part 2 of class 12 book Vistas, the lesson, the third level. In part 1, we discussed that our protagonist, yani our narrator, found the third level and his friend, even his own psychiatrist friend, declared that he wanted to escape from the reality. They stated this kind of statement because our narrator had the habit of collecting the stamps. But narrator proved himself right to present two another example that first one is his own grandfather and second one is the President Roosevelt. Both had the habit of collecting the stamps, but they didn't want to escape from the reality because they were happy in their own life. So with this example, our narrator also proved that he didn't want to run away from the reality. Now, what was the story of that Grand Central Station? Let's see. Anyway, here is what happened at Grand Central. Narrator says that, okay, let me continue with my story. What happened at the Grand Central? One night last summer, I worked late at the office. So, this incident happened before 1 year. When one night our narrator spent his late night in his own office, I was in a hurry to get uptown to my apartment, so I decided to take the subway from Grand Central because it's faster than the bus. Our narrator said that I was hurry to get uptown. What is the meaning of uptown? Uptown is a resident area of city to my apartment. So he decided that I should choose subway from Grand Central than the bus. As we know, bus take more time comparing to train. So our narrator also chose the option of bus. Now, I don't know why this should have happened to me. Something happened. He found the third level of that Grand Central Station. Narrator was confused. He wasn't sure that why happened to him only. I'm just an ordinary guy named Charlie. So here we found the name of our narrator, our protagonist, and his name was Charlie. 1 years old, and I was wearing a tan gabardine suit and straw hat with a fancy band. So protagonist's name Charlie, he was 31-year-old and he wearing a tan. Tan यानी कि yellowish brown color and gabardine suit यानी कि one type of, you can see in the picture that this one is our narrator Charlie, and with this picture you can observe his dressing style. And straw hat, now you can see that the type of hat with the fancy band यानी कि his coat was fancy one. I passed a dozen men who looked just like me. Now in the background of the picture you can see that the other people, they not exactly, but they are like similar to our Charlie. And I wasn't trying to escape from anything. Narrator says that, as my friend said that I want to escape from the reality, but he said that I wasn't trying to escape from anything, not even reality. He didn't mention the word reality, but he said anything. Yani ki, not my inner fear, not my outside fear. I just wanted to get home to Louisa, my wife. He said that I'm just hurried to reach my house because I want to meet my wife. So this one is our second character. And one was also our psychiatrist. We will get our psychiatrist's name later on. I turned into Grand Central from Vanderbilt Avenue. This one is one place name. And went down the steps to the first level. So narrator यानी कि Charlie says that to enter in Grand Central, I chose the gate that Vanderbilt Avenue. Then I stepped forward towards the first level, where you take trains like the 20th century. So narrator says that you take trains like 20th century means this story is also happened in the 20th century. So you will find the 20th century train at the first level. Then I walked down another flight to the second level. So, after a few steps, our narrator was on the way towards the second level, where the suburban trains लिव फ्रॉम. सब अर्बन ट्रिम्स यानी कि अर्बन यानी कि कंप्लीट सिटी एरिया एंड सब अर्बन यानी कि टाउन लाइक एरियाज. डक्ट into an arched doorway heading for the subway and got lost. Duck यानी कि बैंड, एन आर्क यानी कि लाइक हम लोग को देखा ना सेमी सर्कल लाइक इंडिया गेट. तो डोरवे यानी कि चार्ली सेज दैट व्हेन आई एंटर्ड ऑन द सेमी सर्कल डोरवे हेडिंग फॉर द सबवे यानी कि लीडिंग टूवर्ड्स द सबवे एंड गॉट लॉस्ट यानी कि वो गुम गए. सो यहाँ पे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट मी एक्सप्लेन दैट यहाँ पे जो ट्रेन की बात की गई है वो सबवे यानी कि अंडरग्राउंड ट्रेन है, जहाँ पे आप नीचे जाओगे तो आपको फर्स्ट लेवल मिलेगा, उससे नीचे जाओगे तो सेकंड लेवल मिलेगा. और यहाँ पे सिर्फ 2 ही लेवल है, लेकिन हमारे जो नरेटर है उनको उनसे आगे एक स्टेप नीचे जाके उनको 3rd लेवल मिला है. सो यहाँ पे वो गुम जाते हैं. एंड दैट्स इजी टू डू. I have been in and out of Grand Central hundreds of times. Narrator said that it's easy to lost here because he himself said that not even one time, many times I have been lost here, hundreds of times. But I'm always bumping into new doorways and stairs and corridors. Narrator says that all time I lost my way and every time I meet with a new way, a new doorways, new stairs and new corridors to come out. Once I got into a tunnel about a mile long and came out in the lobby of Roosevelt Hotel. The narrator says that once when I visited the Grand Central Station, that time I lost my way and I was outside from the Roosevelt Hotel, in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel. Another time I came up in an office building on 46th Street. Here's the name of the area, 46th Street, 3 blocks away. So second time he was out from this 46th Street, 3 blocks away यानी कि उनकी जो एरिया है उसके से 3 blocks away यानी कि 3 blocks दूर थे वो. ये जो एग्जैक्ट एरिया है यहाँ से. Sometimes I think Grand Central is growing like a tree. Narrators like little bit funny things here. He compared that central with the tree. जैसे कि ट्री टाइम के साथ बड़ा होता जाता है तो उसके रूट भी बहुत डीप होते जाते हैं. तो एग्जैक्टली द चार्ली सेड दैट द ग्रैंड सेंट्रल स्टेशन इज ऑल्सो ग्रोइंग लाइक ट्री बिकॉज वहाँ पे बहुत सारे रूट्स, बहुत सारे वेज हर बार उनको मिलते हैं. पुशिंग आउट न्यू कॉरिडोर्स एंड स्टेयरकेस लाइक रूट्स. एवरी टाइम देयर इज न्यू कॉरिडोर्स एंड न्यू स्टेयरकेस लाइक रूट्स. यानी कि जैसे कि ट्रीज में रूट्स होते हैं अलग अलग, एग्जैक्टली यहाँ पे भी यानी कि जो ये ग्रैंड सेंट्रल स्टेशन है यहाँ पे भी हर बार कोई नया कॉरिडोर या नया स्टेयरकेस आपको बाहर निकलने के लिए मिल जाता है. There is probably a long tunnel that nobody knows about, feeling its way under the city right now. So the word is probably. The Charlie says that there is a probably a long tunnel that nobody knows, यानी कि no citizen knows about that tunnel and it is exactly under the city. Now it's way to Times Square. Times Square यानी कि टाइम मशीन लाइक. जैसे कि आप यहाँ पे एंटर हुए सेकंड साइड तो आप निकले तो वहाँ पे आप you are not in 2020, maybe you are in 2050 or in past in 1950. So here is like Times Square, time machine, and maybe another to Central Park. तो सेकेंड वे जो है वो कहाँ पे जाता है, सेंट्रल पार्क. And maybe because for so many people through the years, Grand Central has been an exit and way of escape. The Charlie says that for many people from last many years, the Grand Central Station is like exit. Exit for what? To exit for the way of escape. यानी कि the person who want to escape from the reality, the person who want to flee away from his own world, for himself, they choose the exit way of Grand Central Station. Maybe that's how the tunnel I got into. The writer says that maybe I also want to escape from something. That's why I entered in this tunnel. But I never told my psychiatrist friend about that idea. The writer says that first of all, whenever he said his problem with his friend, psychiatrist friend, he declared that he want to escape from the reality. So it's better not to tell everything about his thoughts and his action to his friend. So the narrator says that I never told my psychiatrist friend about that idea. The corridor I was in began angling left and slanting downward, and I thought that was wrong. So here there is a description of the third level, how he entered in the third level. So the corridor was in begin angling left and slanting even like slanting downward, and I thought that was wrong, and the way was wrong. But I kept on walking. All I could hear was the empty sound of my own footsteps, and I didn't pass a soul. The narrator says that only I could hear my own empty footsteps. It means there was no one except our narrator. And I didn't pass a soul. Yani there is no one, there is no human being. Then I heard that sort of hollow row ahead, that means open space and people talking. After a few steps, he heard that sort of hollow row, echo sound like. And after a few steps, he also heard the conversation of people. So he finally found that there are also human beings. The tunnel turned sharp left. I went down and sought flight of stairs and came out on the third level at Grand Central Station. Finally, he was at the Grand Central Station. But our narrator was not sure, because all the time he found the new exit way. So this time he also thought that okay, this one is new way. But accidentally he reached at that third level. For just a moment I thought I was back on the second level. He thought that I entered from one side, and after there is a few ways or few tunnel, again I am at the second level. But I saw the room was smaller. There were fewer ticket windows and train gates. Narrator says that first of all I thought it is only the second level, but after my little careful observation I found that comparing to second level, on this level there is a fewer, less ticket windows and less train gates, and the information booth in the center was wood and old looking. So there is also one little bit change. यहाँ पे booth यानी कि ticket window, यानी कि जो windows होती है रेलवे स्टेशन पे उनकी बात की गई है, booth यानी कि. So narrator says that the center was wood, यानी कि जो center बना हुआ है wood का है, old fashion है, old looking है, and the men in the booth were a green-eyed and long black sleeve protectors. So narrator says that when I observed the people carefully, I found that the booth यानी कि जो person वहाँ पे window पे बैठा हुआ है, he wore a green-eyed and long black sleeve protector. यहाँ पे long black sleeve protector यानी कि उसकी body पे protect करने के लिए उसे one type of cloth पहना हुआ है. The lights were dim and sort of flickering. जो light है वो dim है, sort of flickering यानी कि shaky, like on off हो रही है. Then I saw why. They were open flame gas lights. But after my deep observation, I found that there is no light, but there was a open flame gas lights. I think you have observed this open flame gas lights. It's not that 20th century. The lesson was written in 20th century, but the third level time was not mentioned right now. We will get the exact time of the third level in next few paragraph. Okay.